Hi, this is a video about how to make plural in Dutch. Just like in English, we create plural by adding a couple of letters to the end of a word, so we're adding a suffix. But unlike in English, we also sometimes change the spelling of the original word. We don't, however, change the pronunciation of the original word, just the spelling sometimes. This is bound by very specific rules, and I don't want to go into those right now, so I'll make a separate video about those rules. So this video will be about spoken language plural. There are two different ways to pluralize Dutch nouns. The one that you pick depends on the noun that you're using, obviously. The first and most common one is written like en and pronounced un. Like I said before, we add this to the end of a word. So for example, woord, woorden, man, mannen. The second suffix we use is an s, just like in English. An example of this would be bezem, bezems. And then obviously there are some exceptions, so like some words get E-R-E-N, some words get a vowel change. These exceptions are very rare and you can just learn them and it'd be okay. I'll post a link to a website that has a list of all the exceptions in the description bar underneath this video. The way to tell whether a noun takes en or s as a plural is to look at the stress pattern in the noun. More specifically, whether there's a stress on the last syllable of the noun or not is crucial in picking a plural. The rule is that if the last syllable of a word is stress, so if the stress of the entire word is on the last syllable, we add en. For example, the word gitaar has a stress on the taar part, so on the last syllable, so the plural would be gitaren. If the last syllable is not stressed, so if the stress is somewhere else in the word, we do not add the en, but we add an s. The example I gave before, bezem, has the stress on the be at the start. This makes the last syllable unstressed, so the plural is bezems. An easy way to remember this is that the s doesn't actually add a syllable to the word, while the en always adds an unstressed syllable. And having multiple unstressed syllables in a row doesn't happen very often in Dutch, which means that if the word already ends in an unstressed syllable, it's easier to just add an s because it won't screw up the rhythm of stressed, unstressed, stressed, unstressed, etc. Another thing I'm not going to discuss right here is how to exactly figure out where the stress is in a Dutch word. I'll do that in a different video too, but I am going to teach you some easy rules to start pluralizing. First of all, if a word only has one syllable, that syllable will be stressed, so you can pretty much always pluralize it by adding the en. Some examples of this are straat, straten, man, mannen, boom, bomen. Secondly, if a word has two syllables and the second syllable is any of these, it's a pretty safe bet that the plural will be an s, because these syllables don't usually take stress ever. Some examples are bodem, bodems, ezel, ezels, gater, gaters, meisje, meisjes. The third rule you can remember is if the last syllable of the word has 3 or more letters, for example, tomaat has the AAT at the end, we call those heavy syllables and they're almost always stressed. Other examples are piraat, piraten, and minuut, minuten. So that was all for this video. If you want to know more about how to write words when you pluralize them, you can click here. And for a video that explains where the stress is in Dutch words, you can click here. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments and I will see you next time.